Hi everyone! So usually I make a lot of Diablo content, but for the past week or so I've been enjoying some Last Epoch. So you see here I leveled up my character, my rogue, to level 90, had a lot of fun. And if you don't know about Last Epoch, it is actually releasing patch 1.0, the official launch, on February 21st. So I wanted to prepare a little bit, get better into the game, so that I can also make some guides for you when the game comes next month. And just earlier today, we had this item faction preview post and video that EHG, the creators of Last Epoch, previewed. And I think this is such an amazing system that I wanted to highlight it here right now. So I am planning to actually play the game when it comes out on February 21st. I am planning to make some videos, guides, etc. and blast it because it looks like a really good ARPG that is coming out here. And I believe they have created the best loot and trading system in any RPG I have seen so far. So it definitely blows Diablo 4 away. And I also think that with the crafting in the game and the way that the loot works and these factions work, it's just covering all the bases. It is something for trade players, it is something for solo SSF players, and it is also something for group found players. So all the three major categories of players are covered in the system, and I'm gonna walk you through it. Now, it's important to note that this is still pre-release, so some details may change. There's also something that developers have said themselves, and there's also this 5-minute video here that is really well laid out explaining how the system works. And what you need to know is that there's going to be those two different factions. One being the Merchants Guild, MG, that allows you to trade items to other players, and the second faction being the Circle of Fortune that rewards solo play and allows you to find more loot and target farm more loot in a special way. And what they're trying to do is to kind of like even out the perks you get from either trading or from the solo self-found experience, so that you can still progress at like roughly similar pace, so to say. So at some point through the campaign, you're going to be confronted with the choice to join either one of those two factions. So this looks like this. And when you join one of them, you can rank up your rank up to level 10. And this is going to be an account-wide rank up that you can do with different characters. And in fact, you can join different factions with different characters, and you can also swap between the factions whenever you want. So you can choose to play SSF, and then you can still change to Merchants Guild and back again. And in order to prevent people abusing, like, swapping the different factions, there is actually a requirement that when you find an item while using a certain faction, or when you trade an item, it will become tagged to that faction. So for example, when you get extra loot from the Circle of Fortune, you can't take that loot and then sell it later on the Merchant's Guild. And vice versa, you can't buy an item from the Merchant's Guild and then swap to a Circle of Fortune and still use that item. So you are bound to the items from that faction. So this is a pretty genius system, I think, to prevent people from just hopping back and forth, and you can decide to either stick with one all the time, or you can rank up both of them if you want to trade at some point in the season, but not at other times. For example, maybe at the start you want to be, racing, to the end and try to like boost your character to a max or something. Then you go for the Circle of Fortune, and then later on you can like open up for the Merchant's Guild, and you can try to do like insane, best in slot, perfect builds with like the craziest items that other people have found. So here's this interface, how it looks like when you actually look at one of those factions. So you see here these different ranks, and then at every rank you unlock separate rewards. And this is, for example, for the Circle of Fortune. And some of those rewards are extremely powerful, as you can see here. Stuff like affixes are 50% more likely to be exalted. Now, if you don't know Last Epoch, then you don't really know how valuable this is, but this is extremely good, and you already get this at rank 4, for example. And there's other stuff here, 35% chance to double the rewards for monolith echoes. Whenever an idol drops, there's a 25% chance for 2 more to drop at the same time, etc. And there's like more of these kind of rewards. And on top of this, for example, for the Circle of Fortune, there are also prophecies. They work a bit like the Path of Exile prophecies from back in the day, where you have to meet like a certain condition or like kill a certain boss, and then you get a certain reward for doing that. So this is like one of those other perks that you can get for being like a solo player. And then like this, you can target some of those prophecies and then try to target farm, for example, certain unique items in a certain slot, or you can maybe target farm more idols, or you can target farm, more exalted helmets or something like that. For the Merchant's Guild, it looks a bit different. When you rank up the Merchant's Guild, you actually unlock more and more items as available trading options. So it looks like there's going to be this bazaar, which is like a physical location in the game, and you go there and there's different NPCs you can talk to. And as you rank up your Merchant's Guild, you can talk to more and more of those NPCs, allowing you to trade more of those items. So you see this here. Rank 1 allows you to trade all the basic items, and then rank 2 allows you to trade set items, and then you can trade unique items and idols and so on. And you unlock more and more stuff to trade with, like, some of the more valuable end game crafting bases, or, end game, GG items basically available down in the ranks here. So this is also pretty cool because you kind of have this progression of stuff that you can trade, opening up more and more options for you, and still having this kind of feeling of progression as you go. And this also means that because every one of those different NPCs is bound to certain item types, you just talk to one of these and, this guy is the relic guy, this guy is the weapons guy, and you already have like the items that you're trying to either sell or buy already somewhat pre-filtered. And on top of this, you can like set up more filters, so you can, it's just a bit like a loot filter. You can select the exact item type, the item level, you can select affixes. So it seems like a pretty straightforward in-game auction house, basically, where you list items, you sell items. And in order to prevent people from just like sitting in the bazaar all day long and flipping items, you have to pay a cost. There's like this so-called favor that you earn as you basically progress your character, kill enemies, etc. And this is a currency on top of the gold that is basically a fee to sell or buy an item. So like this, you can't just like stand there and just infinitely trade and try to get rich, but instead you actually have to play the game, preventing people from just flipping items and selling all of their trash that no one ever wants to buy. So here's an overview of what these prophecies look like. So when you have the Circle of Fortune faction, you can go to look at the stars. Basically, there are like these telescopes, and you can select certain prophecies. So you see this here, for example, defeat a certain boss. And then, this is in this dungeon in Soulfire Bastion. And then you get like a unique caster weapon with at least one legendary potential, for example. And then, you can like select other prophecies that give you other rewards. And like this, you can kind of like select whatever you're looking for. Maybe there's something, you're looking for like a certain unique weapon. You can try to do this. Or there are other prophecies giving you other rewards. Some of them can be repeated, and you can have like a certain number of prophecies active at a time. It seems like there can be a lot of them at once, and you're mostly going to be capped by the favor that you're earning as you go, as long as you somewhat, actually finish those conditions at some point. And here's also like another perk that you get as a Circle of Fortune player, as a basically solo self-harm player, which are the lenses, where here you can put like 3 different lenses into those slots here. This is again in these telescopes, and they offer you more target farming abilities. For example, here it says 15% increased chance per rank to find the runes. This is a rank 2 lens, so you have 30% extra chance. So you can like target farm runes like this a bit better. And then here's another one that gives you a 15% increased chance per rank to find exalted items. So this is plus 60% chance. This is a pretty powerful lens. And, like this, there might be like also other stuff like more uniques, more helmets, whatever. So you can like really like narrow down the stuff that you're actually looking for, which is amazing, I think. And it's going to make like the solo self-hunt gameplay a lot more rewarding. And lastly, this is the third thing that they covered here as well, which is like the groups of friends that want to play together or want to trade items between them. So for this, they have created a new system called Resonance, and it looks like this. Effectively, this Resonance allows you to trade items to your friends regardless of their faction, or regardless of if they were actually present when you found an item. So basically, as you play together with a person, you can find Resonance, and then it has that other person's, that other player in your party's name like kind of engraved in it. So you can see this here. It resonates with a certain player or a certain character, and you can only use this resonance to trade with that person. So for example, you play together with your buddy for a while and you find one of these resonances, but then your buddy goes offline, and then you find like a GG item that you really want to give to your friend. You can use this resonance, and it's like a consumable item basically that allows you to trade a specific item to that person that you found this resonance with. So apparently it's going to be like relatively rare. So it doesn't enable like pseudo, like, trading, like, pseudo little merchant skills basically between a group of players or a group of friends. But it allows you to actually like have those moments where you find like this insane item and you know it's going to be good for someone that you like to play with a lot. So if you have this resonance available, then you can use that. And no matter what, you can give it to that other person, which is a pretty cool system as well, I think. So I think especially for like, those players that kind of like know what's going on with like each other's builds, this can be insane. Or, you can just save this up for whenever the moment comes, So this is just like the overview of how the system with the two factions is going to work. I think this is an absolutely genius design, and I'm really excited to see this in actual gameplay when the game finally launches in patch 1.0 on the 21st of February. So I'm planning to play it. I hope that you're also gonna jump in there. This is not a sponsored video or anything. I just had a lot of fun playing Last Epoch, to be honest. And I think it's gonna be really cool to, try out a new ARPG and see, where the path will take it over the time. So this is just kind of the start of the journey for them. And I have been playing this game on and off a few times. I've leveled 3 different characters already over the past 2 years or so. It has been in early access for quite a while. And I think what they have created here with this faction system is definitely a much needed and very well designed innovation when it comes to trading and the loot hunt in the RPGs. And this is why I think this was really worth showing. So let me know what you think about it. Let me know what maybe other games can learn from this. And also let me know what you would like to see in terms of Last Epoch content. So for now, of course, I'm going to be focusing a lot more on Diablo 3 in the next week or so. And then we have Diablo 4 Season 3. And then, yeah, roughly a month or so into the Season 3, Last Epoch is coming. So at that point, I'm planning to, at least for a while, do a switch and see how it goes. So that's it for this video here. I hope you liked this, and I'll see you guys next time.